Let's go say hey to the people. Hey, America. Look who is on Periscope, my Lord.
Probably my first and
Oh,
last
Lord.
time.
Help us, Lord. Help us, Lord.
The most hated black man in the church.
All the Christians in here.
And the most hated black man in Christianity right now. Here we are.
We the groom.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
Seeing it.
In the words of that great Negro philosopher, Dr. Rodney King, can we all just get
along, please? Listen, that was a good interview, though, man. That was a good interview, and I'm excited about, bringing us together as a people. And listen, ain't no turning back now.
Hey, man, listen. We went into the meeting. We had a 3-hour meeting with Donald Trump today. And we talked about everything we could think of until we ran out of things to talk about. Mm-hmm. We talked about police brutality. Yeah. We challenged. We didn't talk about it. No, we weren't up there shining Donald Trump's shoes.
Ain't no Uncle Tom's.
We challenged him on police brutality. We challenged him on racial inequality. Right. We challenged him on statements that he has made that have been construed as being racist. We challenged him on being insensitive to women. We challenged him on being misogynist. We challenged him on everything. Yeah. And we had 109
black
preachers in the room.
Yeah.
109 black people in the room. And we did not refuse anyone the opportunity to talk. And we asked the tough questions and we demanded answers. Yeah. We asked him to adjust his behavior. Yeah. You can't unscramble scrambled eggs.
And Rome isn't built in a day.
But we really believe going forward, and we let Mr. Trump know going forward, this type of behavior will not be accepted.
Yeah, we made it very clear also that if that type of tone is not changed, it's going
to be difficult. It's going to be
very difficult
along. And so he received it. He received every last bit of it. He said that he's politically incorrect sometimes because he's not a politician.
And he's new at this whole,
and he said, I'm new at this, and I'm making a lot of mistakes, and so I have to keep going.
I understand about being new at it and all that kind of stuff. What I would just like to see happen is that those of you who are out there and a situation like this comes up again and there's some misunderstanding, that you would pick up the telephone and just give us a call.
Give us a call.
And if I'm wrong, I promise you, I will apologize.
Yeah.
I will set the record straight. My heart is pure. I didn't come to endorse, I came to listen. And I think every American had the right
to endorse.
I was never asked to endorse.
Scott never asked anybody
I was never asked to endorse
Donald Trump.
And I just want us to return back to some good characteristics,
absolutely,
and godly principles. You have a situation, before you just go out there and start blogging and start writing, pick up the telephone, say, hey, Bloomer, doesn't sound right, what's the situation? And then if I tell you, and if I'm off the rail, then, blast me. And I promise you this, if I'm off, if I'm wrong, I will apologize.
Absolutely.
I'm not playing.
I'm
not playing with this thing. This is my life.
Yeah.
This is my life. I'm not a media hog. I've been very, very silent. I love you guys out there. I just want us as preachers to really, really earnestly contend for the faith and start looking a little bit better than we look right now.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's
Absolutely.
You know what? To be honest, the quote-unquote black church got a black eye over this last holiday.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just went out, and the thing that exacerbated the situation is the fact that we're all friends. We all have each other's phone numbers.
Yeah.
It's not like we're talking about strangers.
No.
Because the question that
people
everyone
we
had
don't
was,
know,
well, why didn't you call me and ask me?
Yeah.
And the thing is, I refused nobody. That's why the crowd grew to 109, Pastor Burns.
109 people.
We asked
30-something women.
Donald Trump, we said, how many can bring? He said, everybody. And in my mind, I'm calling all my friends.
All your friends.
I'm inviting all my colleagues. Let them come. And I want them to be able to ask him the tough questions so we can go back and communicate the answers. And we can at least say, okay, if this guy is out here disrespecting us, then I stood up.
Absolutely.
And I challenged him about it.
Absolutely.
Because one thing about it, Mark Burns, Daryl Scott, George Bloomer, Robert Scott, James Davis, and every other preacher in that room, we stood up today, Jack.
We sure did.
We made Black America proud today.
There ain't no coons up in this room.
Come on, James.
James, come on,
Scott. Come on over here and talk.
Today we made history.
We did.
Nothing else was done ever in the history of politics in this modern age. Have anyone put 100 preachers in a room with a GOP candidate? And so, as you've stated, we stood up and we wouldn't be bullied, Twitter bullied, or in the face bullied by these so-called preachers. And so now we'll see what comes out of this. And what we see so far has been wonderful. It's been a great day, and it's time that we move forward. And again, to exchange different ideas, because someone thinks different than you, they shouldn't be your enemy.
Right.
And so sending the minions out, so to speak, to keep us on the old plantation. I'll go think and do what we want to think and do whenever we want to do it.
You know, one of the complaints that I saw was that preachers in the last days will be deceived, and I saw that out there a lot. What's your comments on that?
Let me say
as
this,
though
man.
we're not hearing from the Holy Spirit to even be here.
Let me say
Talk
this.
about that.
We talk to people every day. We counsel people. We are able to discern truth and error. We're better equipped to do that than the average person because we're in the people business. We talk to people every day. We sit down and we decide matters. We're judges in our own right and our own community. So we're not any deceived. So first of all, Donald Trump didn't ask me to go get black people and bring them up.
Exactly.
Set it straight.
What happens is, I had the open door that I could have went in and stayed in by myself.
By yourself, right?
But I'm not that type of person. I wasn't in this for personal aggrandizement. Once the door got open, okay, the door is open, brothers. Come on in. Let my brothers come in with me.
Yes.
And so any issues or any oughts that they have, we were able to challenge this man face to face. Now, it's easy to sit out there and take shots at him.
Right.
Yes.
But say it to his face.
Exactly.
Look him in his eyes
Open
and
the
say,
door.
I don't like this
door was
about
open.
you. I don't like what you did. A preacher called me. You know what he said to me?
What'd he say?
He said, Scott, I thought you and Trump was friends. I said, we are. He said, man, the way you was going at him, you looked like you was a prosecutor or something.
Yeah.
Because we're not. We went in there man to man. And we went in there strong. Blumen was strong. You went strong. I was. Everybody in the room went strong. We came real strong. And you know what? To his credit, he sat there and he took it.
And he took it.
That's right.
He took it. He received it. He acknowledged it. And you know what he said? I'll try to do better in the future. Now, what can we do? We're gonna throw him on the ground and start kicking and beating and stomping him? He said, I receive what you're saying. He let us rebuke him.
Yeah.
And he said, I'll try to do better.
He
in the
didn't
future.
defend himself. He didn't try to defend himself. He just simply said, I'm going to do better.
He gave us his reasons. He gave us his explanations. And from there, we went on.
Prophet Scott.
It was great. Had a wonderful time. Was privileged to be a part of this great council of leaders, African American pastors, and all of our concerns were addressed in a very specific manner. I was greatly pleased and somewhat surprised at Mr. Trump's posture throughout the meeting, his attentiveness to our concerns, and then some subsequent planning had to take place. So strategy, planning, implementation of the plan. There were some takeaways, some measurables that in between now and our next meeting, we can come back and measure our success toward some of our concerns.
I'm glad you said
Rome
that.
wasn't built in a day.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm glad you said in our continual meeting, he made it very clear that this is a continued
It's an ongoing
conversation.
dialogue.
It's an ongoing dialogue. And he made it clear in the meeting, we're going to meet again.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, whether it's a month or whether it's 3 months, 6 months down the road,
You know,
he is
one of
going
the
to meet.
things-
I see some of the chatter, even in some of the texts about what was the motive. The motive has always been about the people that we represent, the communities that we represent.
Absolutely.
It's never been about a check for us,
No
or some
check.
door open for
Talk
us.
about that.
Everyone standing here is an entrepreneur in his own right. We make our own money. We don't need, Mr. Trump's anything. But again, we should have a voice. If you read your Bible, you will see where the people of God, the men of God, have counseled kings all the way from antiquity until now. And so if God has raised us up for such a time as this to go and speak to someone and voice what's necessary for what's coming down, because right now what's going on in the White House, what's going on in our communities is based upon what's happening in this current administration, and no one wants to call them into accountability because they look like us.
That's good.
And so if you call them into accountability, you're a sellout. If you go to listen to somebody else, you're a Tom.
Right.
So they just want you to bully you into being quiet. But what was discussed is our communities, what will happen in those communities, and we believe him. The man is a builder. The man is an executive, and that's what we need right now. Somebody that understands that it's infinitely harder to sign a front of a paycheck than it is the back of one. Someone that creates jobs and can make things happen.
Change has to be more than an aimless metaphor.
Yeah, that's good.
It has to become a reality for us in our communities. We have to get back to doing what made America great: innovation, creativity, and leadership. These three things are all-encompassing in the personification of Donald Trump, in my estimation. That's why I'm here. I was invited, I was privileged and pleased to get this invitation. And again, we have some measurable takeaways, and I'm happy. Long day, peace. Love you.
Getting out of here. Anybody send you no check?
Hey. Now you know me and Burns got into it in here about Periscope early, and we came down here like two black folks.
Well, I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to talk about that. What I want to talk. I don't even want to talk about that.
They was gonna call security on us.
We done had a long day.
I don't want to talk about that. What I want to talk about is what I want to talk about in closing out tonight is this: is that preachers, we gotta get together.
Yeah, we gotta get together.
We didn't look too good this weekend. All of us.
I tell you what,
we gotta get together. We can't let
gotta do better.
We can't let people drive us. We have to bring leadership to our positions. Please, let's get this thing together.
Let me say this though: if it wasn't for Darrell Scott and Mark Burns, the black preachers would not have a voice in this election.
Yeah, no.
We the black preachers been on CNN and stuff all day long. They can get mad all they want to, but they've been on CNN. Oren Pullins was on.
Yeah.
My sister Corletta Baum was on. Bloomer been on. And, even our critic wound up on TV because of us. If it wasn't for what we did, we had the black people.
Preachers matter. We signing out from CNN. Black preachers matter.
That's brilliant. I like that.
Black preachers matter. Gotta go. Deuces. Holler back at us.